I'm Marcus Blake with That Nerd Show, and this is our editorial segment on women in film. Every Friday, we will be highlighting women in film. Instead of doing a discussion question, we want to talk about women filmmakers. From actresses to directors to producers, women who are making a name for themselves in the world of film. Women filmmakers that you may never have heard of because they don't get talked about enough. Women filmmakers who might get snubbed at award shows in a male-dominated, misogynistic, entertainment world. So we feel that at That Nerd Show, it's time to highlight some of these great women filmmakers, and that's what we want to do on our Friday news show. So instead of actually talking about one women filmmaker for our beginning show, I actually wanted to talk about a film festival that we've been covering for 4 years. It's the Women's Texas Film Festival in Dallas, Texas. Created by Justina Walford. It's been going on over 4 years. 2020 will be its 5th year, and we've been there since the beginning. This is a film festival that is created by women filmmakers for women filmmakers. Yes, it's strictly all about women and showcasing their work. And that's okay. For those who might complain that it might be, a little racist or, discriminatory against men, well, we don't really care. We absolutely agree with this film festival and have enjoyed ourselves the past few years and have interviewed some very wonderful women filmmakers. But the reason that we're highlighting the Women's Texas Film Festival is not because it's just for women. It's because of the culture that it brings, how fun it is, and the great films that we get to see that we may not see in other avenues. Yes, some of the films that go through this film festival have been at South by or Sundance, but some you may never hear about other than this kind of film festival. But it's the quality of filmmakers that come through. They get to showcase their work that through other avenues may never, be heard of. And let's face it, we do live in a male-driven entertainment industry. While Hollywood loves to preach a culture about equality and, gender doesn't matter, it definitely doesn't show by the evidence of women filmmakers who get snubbed for directorial, getting to direct films, or when it comes to award shows, or the fact that when it comes to the marketing, it's all about men. So, and as a man, and someone who does believe in gender equality, as somebody who wants to see more women filmmakers, I'm personally ashamed by this. Now, I don't speak for everybody on the staff of That Nerd Show, and I certainly don't speak for every man, in Hollywood or every male filmmaker. But I'm only throwing out there what we already know. So, the reason that this is one of the best film festivals in Dallas, Texas, where we are located at, and why it should be talked about more and more, is the fact that, again, it's not just that it's about women filmmakers, it's the quality of films that come through. In fact, its very first year, the opening night film was an international film from Australia, in which we got to interview the filmmakers who came all the way to the States to be a part of this. It also is a film festival that showcases women doing their first films, whether it be a short film for film school, like Amanda Milius, the daughter of the great John Milius, who we interviewed a few years ago and absolutely loved her student film called The Lotus Gun, which you can see on YouTube. It's not only a film festival that gets to showcase the local women filmmakers that have been making a name for themselves over the years, like Liz Cardenas or Farrah White, who we always feel like it's not a true film festival unless we get an interview from either one of these great filmmakers. But the truth is, there's never been a film festival dedicated to just women, especially here in Texas. And that's a shame. We have film festivals for sci-fi, for fantasy. We have it for the LGBTQ community, which are all perfectly well and good, and we support all of that. But the quality of films that we do get at a film festival like this is absolutely amazing. And it showcases one idea, that yes, women can do it just as good as men when it comes to creating great film. And, we have seen that time and time again. We've also had a chance to interview great filmmakers, who have come through that are making a name for themselves in LA and going off to bigger and better things. And we're proud to be a part of a film festival that showcases who they are, that gives them that next step up in their careers, especially as a news agency. But Justina Walford is a filmmaker in her own right, her and her husband, who we've known for years, and the quality of work that they have done, especially in coming back to Dallas, but with her taking on being able to make a great film festival just like this, with great parties, entertainment, but the quality of films that come through that we enjoy pretty much every one of them, and the chance that we get to sit down with great women filmmakers, we as a news outlet we haven't always gotten that. So we're proud to be a part of something like this, and we want to showcase what this film festival is about. If nothing else, for the women filmmakers out there that don't know where to go to showcase their work, or might get snubbed from film festivals, just like award shows, that might get overshadowed in this male dominant entertainment world. But like I said, it's been one of those great film festivals that we've always enjoyed. Last year, we got to meet a lot of new filmmakers, from producing music videos to first features, like Emily Cohn, whose opening night film Crush was one of the highlights of the film festival. It was fantastic to be able to get to talk to her, or an Allison Webster, who from Texas created a film about minorities and females and all that being marginalized in a very strict conservative religious world, basically being discriminated against, and how that is wrong. And it's more than just Hollywood standing up on TV and preaching about these ideals, but about filmmakers out there living these issues every day to try to get their work out there. It's also about showcasing women that are not in it for the money. They just want the power to create, to show their work, and to show that they can do the same quality of work as men, or even better. What's an interesting fact is, we talked a lot about this year in regards to the Oscars, and how not one female director was nominated for best picture, or the best director category, and we had some wonderful female directors who had incredible films. And of course, I went to task on that during an editorial. But what an interesting stat that kind of applies to why we are doing this show and why we talk about film festivals like the Women's Texas Film Festival is the Oscars, the Academy Awards, which is basically the Super Bowl of award shows. In its 90-year history, only 5 women have ever been nominated for Best Director in their films. Only one has actually ever won, and it was Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker. And she is one of the few that, we have come to know as a great filmmaker, and also being able to direct action films. Now, we're not necessarily showcasing her talents in this episode, but we use her as an example of one is not enough. There's many, many more out there that we have absolutely enjoyed their work that you may never hear about, because they do get overshadowed. And we want to kind of fix that here at That Nerd Show. We're proud of women filmmakers. We're proud of the female staff that we have here that are just as nerdy as the men and hold their own and usually keep us in check. That's why I always joke around on our Saturday morning podcast that it's our Miss Julie Jones that keeps me and Brendan straight. But getting back to the film festival that I mentioned earlier and why it's important. It isn't wrong and it isn't discriminatory to have a film festival showcasing just women filmmakers. In fact, we need more of them, because the world needs to know that if you truly believe in equality, that women can do all things, then in the world of entertainment, that should be more evident. Now, here at That Nerd Show, us nerds have always known that, because in the entertainment that we like when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy and action, we have some great heroines that basically hold their own against men or tend to be better. Princess Leia being an example. I mean, Carrie Fisher, embodied that role and held her own against a male-dominated world, and was unapologetic for how she handled things. Was pretty much a guru for all young women filmmakers. Of course, Ripley from Aliens. I've always admired Joss Whedon for showcasing the women in his TV series as being just as important, if not more important than the men. Firefly being a great example. But like I said, us nerds, we've always known that. And I don't think a male director could have ever taken on the movie like Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot and made it as good as it was, or it is, I should say, because it's still fun to go back and watch, than Patty Jenkins. So, like I said before, every Friday at the end of our news show, you won't get a discussion question. You'll get a segment about highlighting women filmmakers. From producers to actresses to writers, the ones that are making them, the ones that you should pay attention to. Because if award shows aren't going to pay attention, that we can't personally change that ourselves here at That Nerd Show. But we can at least let the world know about some of those great women filmmakers that are out there. Like the ones that came through the Texas Women's Film Festival this past year, like Emily Cohn that I just mentioned, or Farrah White, or our friend of the show, Gwendolyn Murphy, who, has done a ton of short films and features and may not be widely known or may not be a Hollywood name, but just as gifted as any other female actresses that I've ever seen or had a chance to work with or interview. And to be recognized for her work at film festivals for the short films that she does. She's a working actress and someone who has a very Tina Fey quality about her, nerdy and quirky and all that, but gorgeous, and showcases, such a strong personality and stubbornness, and a heroine in her own right on screen, I think says a lot. But, then again, you get outspoken, yes, lesbian filmmakers that use music videos, like a Jennifer Howard, that we got to interview at the Texas Women's Film Festival this past year, who did a music video called Texas Annie, The Legend of Moan Ranger. A heroine who basically makes sure that women have enough dildos in Texas, even when it's breaking the law, because Texas has a dildo law. You can't own more than 2 without it being a crime. Who is just a nerd in her own right. In fact, when we interviewed her, had a Stormtrooper shirt on and was just as nerdy as we are about Star Wars and stuff. But I think the most talented people in Hollywood have always known that women were always, can be great filmmakers and just as powerful and on the same level as men. Star Trek has always put women at the forefront, ever since the original series. And they've had some very formidable female characters come through, not only from Counselor Troy to Seven of Nine to a Catherine Janeway in Star Trek Voyager. But of course, Uhura from the original series. But those are shining examples of things of what we love in the nerd universe. And the fact that we get to go to a film festival like the Texas Women's Film Festival that showcases great women filmmakers every year, and nerdy ones at that we watch out for in their projects, that are, again, just as nerdy as us, that get past all the stereotypes that women can't be nerds or they can't, entertain as good without it being erotic. There's a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of misogyny that comes in the entertainment industry, and it's atrocious. And we've dealt with an industry with our fair share of predators who, will use their power to sleep with actresses and all that. We're seeing them being taken down and finally punished, like Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby. But at the end of the day, if Hollywood really is going to be a place where all can come together and create, and gender doesn't matter, then women filmmakers need to be showcased a lot more, and we should know about them. So that's what we're going to do every Friday, is we're going to let you know about individual filmmakers. But for this first show, we want you to know about the Women's Texas Film Festival. And even if you don't live in Texas, if you're a female filmmaker, this is a great place to showcase your work. And we will absolutely love to interview you when you're here. So submit your film. It's always in August of every year. And we are absolutely proud to know Justina Walford and all the work that she does with this film festival. And that's why we're highlighting her and her film festival in our very first show. Because it definitely truly makes a difference in the entertainment industry, even for independent filmmakers. When you have a place like this, especially for women, where they can show their work and not be overshadowed by men. So men get enough attention in this industry. It should be, the playing field should be level a little bit more. That's the way it always should be. I mean, fair is fair. And yes, I'm a man, and I'm saying that straight up. And women should be able to have the power to create without fear of predators holding their careers hostage if they don't submit to someone's perverted sexual desires. So, as I said, we'll highlight women every Friday, women filmmakers. And for this first week, you should definitely check out more from the Women's Texas Film Festival. And of course, you can go back and see our interviews over the past 4 years of truly great filmmakers that we have met and enjoyed, and look forward to seeing more and more, what they do. Thank you. I'm Marcus Blake with That Nerd Show. Until the next time, goodbye. Hello there, fellow nerds. I'm Marcus Blake, the editor and producer of That Nerd Show, and we need your help. That's right, we need your support. Like any news outlet, we rely on advertising and donations to keep the lights on. To be the greatest show in this universe, we need funding, and that's where you come in. Like most artists out there, we actually have a Patreon account, and we're asking for donations. But we're not just asking for you to give us money. We actually have stuff that we're going to be giving away if you donate. So we'll be uploading more and more videos to our Patreon account from YouTube, from our daily news to interviews with celebrities to gaming videos and all of our other individual shows that we are doing here in 2020. But to keep us going, we need a little bit of funding. And again, that's where you come in. So it can be as little as $1. $1 makes all the difference in the world. And you can do anywhere from $1 to $3 to $5, all the way up to $500. And we're going to be giving stuff away for your donations. So you could get some Nerd Power wristbands or any other wristbands from our series of wristbands that we're creating for nerds. You can get cool retro gaming t-shirts from our Nerd Swag shop if you make a donation of $20 or more. You can even get advertising on our website or within our videos if you make a purchase or donate $50 or more dollars. We have different tiers, like most artists. Want that new video game that's coming out this year? You want to be playing the same video game we are as we're reviewing it? Hey, you can do that with a $100 donation. Are you looking to get a new console before the year is out? Hey, $500 and you can get an Xbox One, a PlayStation 4, or even a Nintendo Switch. It just takes a little bit to help us. As little as $1 per video that we do. And we're going to have a variety of videos that you can help support. So if you like our content, if you like everything that we do as nerds, from honest conversations about pop culture to great celebrity interviews to wacky and fun gaming videos, then help support us on our Patreon account. You can check us out at patreon.com/thatnerdshow. You can check us out at patreon.com/that. Take 3. Go to patreon.com/thatnerdshow and make your donation today. Even if it's just $1. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you and stay nerdy.